Hey guys, I am getting ready to do surgery. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually getting ready to swap out the inkjet cartridges that came in my Epson Workforce 7720 with the sublimation ink that I ordered. I ordered this ink from inkxpro, inkxpro. Okay. There's another brand that's on Amazon that's the name sounds similar and looks similar, but it's not. So this is inkxpro that I'm going to be using for my sublimation ink. One of the things they do tell you if you decide to change your Epson Workforce 7720 to sublimation, they do tell you that whatever brand of ink that you go with or choose, that you should really stick with that instead of switching brands, back and forth. So I've heard a lot of good things about inkxpro, so that's why I went with this one. One of the things that I like about it is that it's going to come with your instructions, and don't tear them up like I did because I was so excited to get my ink. But it's going to come with the instructions. And one of the good things to pay attention to here is on the back, it tells you for installation and troubleshooting videos to please go to www.inkxpro.com and then choose the knowledge base. And then you can go and look at the installation video or the troubleshooting video if you have any issues. Now, I'm hoping I don't have any issues, okay? I've already set up my Workforce 7720 with the inkjet ink. I've already printed a couple of things off here, so I already know that my printer works just fine. And that is highly recommended that once you get your ink, your Epson Workforce 7720, that you do test it with the ink that it comes with first to make sure that there's no issues with your printer, okay? Because if you go right to sublimation and you experience issues, you don't know if it's something with the printer because now you've put the sub ink in there. So you need to test your printer when you first get it, install your paper and all that good stuff to make sure that everything works just fine. So I know that everything works fine. And so I'm good to go with sublimation. So don't forget the back, troubleshooting and installation videos. It'll tell you where to go on their website to the knowledge base. Your packet is going to come with the 4 colors. You have your black, your cyan, your magenta, and then your yellow inks. And then it's going to come with your 4 refillable cartridges. So these are your refillable cartridges. Okay. Now you're going to have an air filter, and then you have the little hole where your ink is going to go. So if sometimes I've seen them where they have the colors on the front and the back, mine didn't come that way. So this yellow towards the front where you have the ink area or the little, I don't know what you call these, the little magnet areas where it lines up with the printer, that's the side that you want to put your ink in for your smaller ones. The black one, you're going to actually put it in the hole closest to the front side instead of the back side of the cartridge. Or did I say that wrong? Yeah. So you just want to make sure that like this push, that's probably the best way I can tell you. So you can see this is clear. Wait a minute. Let me see if you guys can see that. Hold on. So you can see there's no color on this side. It's just little clear caps that's covering up the air filter area. This right here, you're going to remove these. And then this area, you're going to pop these open, and that's where your ink is going to go. Once you put your ink in, you're going to close these back, but you're going to leave the clear air filter ones, you're going to leave those off. They're going to stay off. They should always be off. Do not put them in the printer with them closed or on, okay? So we're going to be popping those off. All right, so you're going to take your syringe and your needle. Let me take these off for just a second because I'm tired of listening to them rattling. You can tell I'm getting old. Every little bit of noise get on my nerves. All right. So for your colors, not your black, for these three colors, it takes about 10 milliliters of each color. Okay. The black, according to the instructions, says that it takes about 30 or so, 30 milliliters or so. So the syringe holds 10 up to 10. So we'll have to do the black about 3 times or so to fill it up. And you want to make sure you fill them up, not overfill where they start flowing out and the ink starts spilling, because this ink costs money. So you want to make sure that when you're putting the ink in, that you're going really slow so that you don't get air bubbles and that you don't cause any spills. So I'm going to start here with this, the yellow. So I'm just going to pop this open. All right. I'm going to put that right there for right now. But all you're going to do is just take your syringe and you're going to pop your needle out just like that. And then you're going to place the needle on top of your syringe like that. Okay, like you really are going to do surgery. And when you're drawing the ink, you're just going to pull back like that until you get to the 10 milliliters like that. And then when you get ready to put it into that hole and put the ink in, you're going to make sure that you're going slow. So I'm pushing, but I'm going slow with it. You don't want to just go like that. Okay. Hopefully that was clear. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with the yellow here. And it's going to have a little bit of the top that you're going to have to pop. Let me see if I can get it open. And hold on one second. Okay. All right. So the clear, that's your air. And this is where you're going to pop this open. And this is where you're going to put your ink on this side. Okay. So we're just going to draw out 10 milliliters. So let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to take out 10 milliliters. Okay. And we're going to put it right in that little hole right here. And go ahead and fill it up. Okay. So you can see on the side here, you can look at it, tell if it's full or if it's not full. And if it's not full, then you want to go ahead and make sure that you fill it up. So I'm going to go in a little bit and get a little bit more because you want to make sure that they're full. So I'm going to try to look as I'm putting it in. Okay. And it is full. All right, so I have a little bit of extra on the top. I'm just going to take my little rag here and wipe that. And then you want to make sure you put that top back on. So all of your colors, you want to make sure that you have you put the lids back in place, but you want to make sure that you take the lid off of the air filter. So I'm going to shake this a couple of times here like that, just to get rid of some of the air in there. And then I'm going to pop this off and I'm going to leave it off. Okay, so this one is ready. You can see it's full. And this is where the air supply or the air filter area is over here. So you can't tell the difference. Okay, and you're not going to take off anything else. This one is ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and close up the yellow. And we're going to do the blue. And they do recommend that after each use that you wash the needles until they show clear. So I will be doing that. So I'm just going to take my next syringe, pop the needle on, make sure you got it on there good so you don't have any issues. And again, we're going to pop this little lid off. And I did not put my gloves back on. I think I feel. So we'll have to get another one. And another one. Because I do not want ink on my hands. Especially, I could have handled the yellow, but the blue, All right. So here we go. Just going to pop that off. Like that. And again, you're going to pop off the side that's closest to the little handle thing here on the top. That's the side you're going to feel. So I'm just going to pop this open like that. And again, we're going to draw out about 10 milliliters or so. Okay. And again, slowly. Fill it up slowly. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see. There we go. And I'm going to go one more time. Not a complete 10, but just enough to make sure that it is full, because you do want to make sure they're full, because once you put these in, your printer is not going to be able to keep up with whether it's full or not. So you just want to make sure that you get it as close to full as possible. There we go. All right. So again, I got it a little bit full here at the top. So that's why it is highly recommended that you have paper towels or something to kind of wipe away any spills or excess. And then make sure you put that lid back on. The plastic is keeping my hands from getting in now. There we go. And again, pop that air filter one off. I'm going to shake it first because I'm scared that I will make a mess. So I'm going to pop that air filter off and keep these together, guys. You know, put them in a place where you're going to be able to remember where they are. And now we can close up the blue. And we have 2 more to go. So now we're going to do our magenta. All right. We're almost halfway there, guys. Pop your needle onto your syringe and go ahead and open the color area where your ink is going to go. And again, it's going to take about the same, about 10 millimeters, a little bit over 10 millimeters. Okay. And put it right in. And put it up so you can see it. So again, go slowly so that you don't cause a lot of air bubbles. Okay. I'm going to put just a little bit more. There we go. Got better that time. And then put the tab back on. Again, I'm just going to wipe off just that. Make sure it's on there good. Shake it up. And pop off the air filter there. Okay, so the ink isn't getting into the air filter. I was worried about that, if it would spill over, but it doesn't. Okay, so now we have our 3 yellow, magenta, cyan, all done. And now we're gonna do the black. Now the black, you're gonna have 2 of the holes. The one that's on the plain side, that's the air filter. And then the one that's going to be facing your little metallic metal part here, that's going to be the side that you're going to place your ink. So you're going to pop that off. And you can go ahead and pop off the air filter because it's not going to interfere. But always make sure that that air filter one is off. And you do not put it back on in this process. All right, so this for the black, again, the black, they say take about 30 to 35 milliliters of ink. So it holds the most out of the sub ink. So again, take your syringe and our last needle here and pop that on to your syringe. And let's get it cracking. So we know we're going to have to go a couple of times on the black. Okay, so going into the hole that's closest to where the tab is. And start filling it up slowly. Okay. And we're going to go again. Slowly filling. And again, you can see it as it's filling up. Okay. And again. Okay, so that was 30, but it's still not filled. So I'm going to go in a little bit more. Okay, it looked like it got right to the top and stopped. So I'm going to take just a little bit. Okay, let me make sure. I think I'm getting air, so I'm going to push this out. Because I'm really right at the top. Got a little bit of a bubble right there. Wipe that off so I can see. Okay. We definitely aren't going to need all of this, but I just want to make sure it's my last time having to go in. And kind of pop that bubble. Okay, there we go. So I can put this back in. So now I have all of my colors, all 4 colors completely filled. Make sure you cover up your inks and put your top back on. And then I'm just going to wipe that. I've taken the air filter one off, so I'm going to shake the black up. And that's it. That is how you go in and you fill each one of your cartridges. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift up my Epson printer here. And it's going to move the, let's see here. Okay, it's already over. So I'm just going to pop. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Oops. That was loud. Okay, let's see. Settings. I'll take this off now. All right, so these colors are based on the inkjet cartridges that are in there. So I'm going to go in and remove these inkjet cartridges. And let's see here. I'm going to do ink cartridges replacement and start the ink cartridge replacement. Okay. There we go. So it's going to do its little thing and allow me to be able to remove the cartridges. So I'm going to pop that up. And on each one of your little inkjet things, it's going to have the same little tab. You just push it so that you can pull it off. So these are the inkjet cartridges that came with the machine. I'm going to take each one of these out. Now, when I get ready to put the sublimation inks in, when you press down, you want to make sure that you're pressing down to where you hear the little pop, and that's going to actually pop the seal so that it can get to the ink. in the bottom there. Okay, so I've double checked. I got all of the air filter plugs out. All of my color prongs are on, which it's supposed to be. And now I am going to go ahead and pop these in, making sure that I hear that little popping noise to break the seal on the end. So I'm going to start with my black. And I'm just going to go in color order here. Want to make sure you hear that pop when you put them in, because otherwise you're going to end up with a big mess on your hand. And you do not want that. Okay. All right. So I made sure that I pop that seal on each one of them. And then you're going to push your lid back down. So I got to hurry here because it's telling me my battery is low. Whoops. And then it's going to start doing its little dance. I'm going to grab my battery. All right, so it's saying do not turn off the power until the initiation is complete. So we're going to let it do its little dance here. And hopefully my thing don't die here. And I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. Again, make sure that you clean these by putting water. Keep pulling water through until it runs clear, and then dry them off, or either let them air dry and then put your caps back on, okay, to protect them. So I'm just going to lay them right here for right now. So again, it is highly recommended when you purchase your Epson Workforce 7720 that you put in the ink that comes with the printer first. So put these in first. Do all your different tests that you're supposed to do, and make sure that your printer is working properly before you do the change over to sublimation. So these are all the inks that came with my printer, okay? So if anything doesn't work, at least I know it wasn't printer related. It would be more along the lines of something that I did. Now, according to the instructions here, it tells you close the filling hole with the color plug, leave the air vents open, which I did, shake the cartridges 4 to 5 times before the install, which is what I did. And then when the printer shows non-genuine ink warning message, just choose yes. So that's what we're waiting on. So we're going to see what happens here. And hopefully my battery doesn't die. Let's see if I can get some light in here. It's too bright in my face. So it takes a minute for this part, 6 minutes or so, they say. And I'm going to take out my little air vent hole things. And where'd the other one go? Oops. Let me get that ink on my hands. if it rolls. Okay, so it says replacement is complete. We're going to hit OK. And they recommend that you do a you go into your settings. So let's go here to we're already in maintenance. You're going to go settings, maintenance, and you're going to go to print head nozzle check. And that's what you want to do to make sure everything prints according to what it's supposed to do. So we're going to say start. And then what you're going to do is look at this to see if you see any little bubbles or any broken lines. And I see a couple on the black, but all the other colors look fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one more time on the black and see if I can get it a little bit better. So I'm going to hit X and I'm going to say black only. Well, I'm going to do all colors just to be on the safe side. That was pretty good that it was only just the black and not all of the other colors. So hopefully this time it's going to come out perfect. And I may have hit a wrong button, but we're going to find out. Better safe than sorry. I'm just trying to find all of my little thingamajiggies here. Okay, I must have knocked them over. All right, we're about to test it in a minute. I think I hit clean the heads by accident. So it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. But we want to try to get all of the lines. We want to try to make sure all of the lines, let me turn that off. We want to make sure that there are no breaks in the line.